Alright. Terrain work and gameplay. Gameplay's going great. Spanish Civil War is progressing. I got the AI to follow the storyline up through like September now. I still got it. I just every time I play it, I watch and observe the way that the battle sequence plays out. I determine what needs to be done to make it more accurate. And so what I'm doing with that next is I'm going to break down the Republican Navy, separate that from the Franco Navy, the Nationals Navy. They had a pretty substantial naval force. Spain in itself had a huge naval force, from what I gathered recently. Obsolete compared to state-of-the-art warships throughout the world for the most part, but still a major fleet, and even split in half is still two major fleets, and that's two major factors that determine the battle flow. I popped in various treaties with France. That helped out. Two international brigades formulate and come in to assist. That worked pretty good, and they get a couple tanks, shitty FT-17s or whatever. Basically, like one of the first tanks in the world, or not the first, but following World War I, one of the first what we think of as a tank in war is what an FT-17 embodied and resembled to a degree. I don't know a whole lot about the tank, to be honest with you. It's a piece of shit in this game, and I don't ever use them. I might not read any more about FT-17 tanks, but that's what they get. And Spain manufactured several of their own battle tanks, but they only had a few at the start of the war, so I'll eventually pop them in there once I make units for them. But yeah, next I'm going to do the navies and see where that takes it. I'm probably going to wait until I transfer all this data to the Supreme Ruler 2030 engine, because I have more options with how I can create unit splits for scenarios such as civil wars. I can make that more realistic in the way the units split in the event system. That's part of the one of the new engine features that I want to utilize. So I might just take notes on what I want to do and wait to add more data, for the coming weeks when I transfer all the server to SR 2030. Dense Force 1 look great. Everything is sized, and the opacity is good. Everything meshes together great. My second set of heavy dense forest hills are not thoroughly done, but they look pretty good. They're pretty easy. I worked on them a little bit today. I'll give them another half an hour tomorrow, and they'll be done. I got to make some minor adjustments to remove oddities at various points in the map. Like right here, kind of looks crappy. I got to reallocate some trees and certain meshes, adjust various positions on various axes, and do scaling and adjust opacities and coloration. It's pretty easy. They're almost done. After I have that done, both of my forest hill meshes done. I really like the way my dense forest came together. They don't look too great right now, but trust me, they will. I also have two sets of dense forests. This is an idea of how they'll look. Here's a section where it's filled out. They look nice. I like the way that looks. The reason why they don't look so great right now over here, see how they contrast to the hills? I like that. I like that. Over here, I have two sets of dense fars mixed in. I have mixed fars here, and these aren't filled in yet, so I have gaps. I have empty spaces. That's why it looks kind of crappy. But I don't have to do anything to the dense fars, really. Once I fill those in, everything will kind of come together and it'll look good. So they're almost done. My light forests I just redefined. I'll be working on them sporadically as I'm playing this weekend. So these are redefined, my light forest 1s. I also have a secondary set of light forest 2s that I got to redefine, and that'll fill out the map a little more as well. Plains, I got them pretty much redefined. I'm adding things like overlays to various texture elements to add more visual depth to like these are my S soils, I'm trying to remember. These are aerosols 4, A4. These are A6 aerosols over here. These are septisols, which are new soils that are common. These aren't done yet, but these are inseptisoils. There's not too much overgrowth on there, but I'm going to add like a rocky type flat mesh. That's actually a mountain mesh that I completely flatten and elevate it just a little bit above 0 on the y-axis, so it does have a rocky surface. I got to adjust the contrast and possibly darken the mesh and adjust the gamma components for this particular mesh, and that'll have more visual depth in itself. And then I'm also going to add a flat mesh that goes over it to kind of create more dense divots and pockets by applying a secondary coat of texture at semi-transparent opacity. It'll look good. Everything has a plan. There's just a lot of it to do, and you have to do it all by hand and one at a time, and then I got to review it and check it and then see how it affected everything around it, and then see what I got to do to make adjustments to make it work. So it's a very tedious, time-consuming process, but it's satisfying once you have most of Switzerland covered up with trees. That was virtually non-existent for a very long time as I played this game. It's satisfying when you start to see the visual effects coming together. These, like I said, these are my second dense forest hills. They're not 100% done yet, but they look great, just as is. These countries are pretty much like, you can go in a world atlas and match my terrain, and it's pretty fucking close. Like, for every country that I've actually spent significant time in, which is most of them in the world, like, this is pretty much as good as an atlas as far as my terrain goes. Pretty much exactly like an atlas. Like I said, like, I got mild soils allocated, inseptisoils,